It was a quiet night when the 911 dispatcher received a call that would send chills down her spine. A tiny, trembling voice whispered through the receiver, pleading for help. "Please, she's coming. I need help. She's hurting me." The voice belonged to a little girl named Emily, just 7 years old, scared, alone, and desperate for someone to listen. What followed was a harrowing tale of pain, neglect, and a desperate fight for survival. But how did it come to this? What kind of monster could bring such terror into a child's life? And would anyone arrive in time to save her? This is Emily's story. Emily wasn't always afraid. Once upon a time, she had a life filled with love. She had a father who adored her, a mother who kissed her goodnight, and a world that felt safe. But everything changed when tragedy struck. Her mother, Claire, was a bright light in her life, always singing as she cooked, brushing Emily's hair with gentle hands, and whispering bedtime stories filled with warmth. But a car accident took her away too soon, leaving Emily and her father, David, drowning in grief. David, heartbroken and lost, struggled to hold himself together. He had always been a strong, loving father, but losing Claire shattered something inside him. He began working longer hours, throwing himself into his job to escape the pain. And then she arrived. Her name was Linda. She was charming, beautiful, and knew exactly how to say the right things. She made David smile again, brought laughter back into the house. But behind closed doors, when David wasn't looking, Linda was nothing like the sweet woman she pretended to be. At first, it was small things, cold glares when no one else was watching, whispered insults that made Emily feel tiny and unwanted. "You're such a spoiled brat," Linda would mutter under her breath. "Stop crying. No one cares about your stupid tears." Emily tried to tell her father, but he wouldn't listen. Linda was his new happiness, and he refused to believe she could be anything but perfect. But as time went on, Linda's cruelty grew worse. It started with punishments, being sent to bed without dinner, having her favorite toys taken away for no reason. Then it escalated. Linda would yank Emily's arm too hard, leave bruises where no one could see, lock her in her room for hours. One night, Emily lay in bed, her stomach aching with hunger, when she heard Linda's footsteps outside her door. "Wake up!" Linda hissed, yanking the covers off Emily. Emily sat up, trembling. "You think you can make me look bad to your father? You think he'll believe you over me?" Linda's eyes were cold and cruel. I never," Emily stammered, but Linda grabbed her wrist and squeezed. "You're nothing but a nuisance. I wish you had gone with your mother." Tears welled in Emily's eyes, but she bit her lip. She had learned that crying only made things worse. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Every moment in that house felt like walking on broken glass. Then came the night everything changed. Cup slipped from her fingers that she was in trouble. Linda's face turned red with fury. "You little idiot!" she screamed. Emily ran. She didn't know where. She just knew she had to get away. She scrambled up the stairs, locking herself in her bedroom. Her heart pounded as she heard Linda's footsteps stomping up behind her. "Open this door, you brat!" Emily knew that voice. It was the voice that meant pain, the voice that meant she might not wake up okay this time. Then she saw it. Her father's old cell phone, the one he had given her in case of an emergency. Her hands shook as she grabbed it, pressing the numbers she had been taught to call if she was ever in danger. 911, what's your emergency? A sob broke from her lips. "Please, I need help. She's coming. She's going to hurt me." The dispatcher's voice softened. "Sweetheart, where are you? Are you alone?" Emily's fingers clenched the phone. "My stepmom. She hates me. She hurts me all the time. And now she's really mad." A loud bang shook the door. "Emily, open this door now!" The dispatcher's voice was urgent. "Stay on the line, honey. Help is coming, just stay with me. But then, silence. Linda had stopped banging. The air in the room felt thick and suffocating. Emily held her breath, straining to hear. And then, click. The lock turned. Linda had the key. The door swung open. Linda's shadow loomed in the doorway, her face twisted in rage. Emily's heart stopped. Would help come in time? Or was this the night she wouldn't make it out alive? Emily clutched the phone to her chest as Linda stepped into the room, her eyes blazing with fury. The dispatcher was still on the line, her voice pleading, "Sweetheart, are you still there? Stay with me." But Emily couldn't answer. She was frozen. Linda's shadow stretched across the floor as she slowly advanced. "Who were you talking to?" she demanded, her voice a low growl. Emily's heart pounded. She tried to hide the phone behind her back, but it was too late. Linda lunged, snatching it from her tiny fingers. The dispatcher's voice crackled through the speaker. "Emily? Emily, are you safe? Officers are on their way." Linda's face twisted with rage. With one swift motion, she ended the call and threw the phone against the wall. It shattered into pieces. "You think you're smart, huh? Calling the cops on me?" Linda spat, grabbing Emily's arm and dragging her closer. Emily whimpered, trying to pull away, but Linda's grip was too strong. "You ungrateful little brat! After everything I've done for you!" Tears burned in Emily's eyes. Everything she had done, all Linda had ever done, was hurt her. But then, something changed. Sirens. Distant, but growing louder. Emily's breath hitched. They were coming. Linda's grip tightened as she realized what was happening. Panic flickered in her eyes for the first time. "You ruined everything!" she hissed, shaking Emily hard. "You're going to regret this!" The sirens were deafening now. The red and blue lights flashed through the window. A loud pounding rattled the front door. "Police! Open up!" Linda's fingers dug into Emily's arms, her breath ragged with fury. Then she let go. "Not a word," she whispered harshly. "If you tell them anything, I swear you'll wish you never made that call." Emily's body trembled as Linda stormed down the stairs, her footsteps heavy with anger. She could hear the voices of the officers outside. "Ma'am, we received a 911 call from this residence. Is everything all right?" Emily crept toward the top of the stairs, peeking down. Linda had opened the door just enough to block the officer's view. She had that fake, sugary, sweet smile plastered on her face, the same one she always used around Emily's father. "Oh, I'm so sorry, officers. That must have been a mistake. You know how kids are, playing with phones, pretending to be in trouble. My stepdaughter is just fine." Emily's stomach twisted. She wasn't fine. She wasn't safe. And if they left, she might never be. One of the officers frowned. "Ma'am, we need to speak with the child to confirm she's all right." Linda's smile faltered for just a second. "She's sleeping," she lied smoothly. "She had a long day, poor thing. I'd hate to wake her up for something so silly." Emily's heart sank. What if they believed her? What if they walked away? The officer hesitated, and that's when she knew. This was her moment. Before fear could paralyze her, Emily ran. Down the stairs, straight toward the door. The officer's eyes widened as they saw her. "Help me!" she cried, grabbing onto the closest one. "Please don't go. She hurts me. She hurts me all the time." For the first time, Linda's mask slipped. "Emily!" she barked, her voice laced with fury. "You stop that right now!" But the officers had already stepped inside. One of them gently knelt in front of Emily. "Sweetheart, can you tell me what's been happening?" Emily hesitated. Linda's glare burned into her, warning her to stay silent. But then she remembered something. Her mother's voice. "You are stronger than you know, my love. Never be afraid to stand up for yourself." Emily took a deep breath. She locks me in my room," she whispered. "She takes my food away. She grabs me really hard and she says I should have died instead of my mommy." A tense silence filled the room. One of the officers turned to Linda, their expression unreadable. "Ma'am, we're going to need you to step outside." Linda's face paled. "This is ridiculous! She's lying! You don't actually believe her! Why did you love her, Daddy?" David sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I was lost after your mom died," he admitted. "I thought Linda was saving me, but I was wrong. I should have seen what she was doing to you." Emily looked up at him, searching his face. "Will she come back?" David's expression hardened. She'll never hurt you again." And for the first time, Emily believed him. Months later, the court made it official. Emily was going home. Not to the house where nightmares lived, but to a new place, a fresh start. Just her and her father. The first night in their new home, David tucked her in, just like he used to, before life fell apart. "I love you, Emily, and I promise, I will never let anything happen to you again." Emily looked up at him, her heart full. "I love you too, Daddy." As she closed her eyes, she realized something. For the first time in years, she felt safe. She felt home. And the little girl who once made a terrifying 911 call, she was finally free. The end.